Good morning, Year 4, and here is your third science lesson of lockdown on Tuesday, the 19th of January. It's our third lesson, as I said, in our new sound unit, and today we are going to be exploring ways to change the pitch of a sound. Had to change this a little bit now that we are at home learning, but hopefully it will still be fun. And we will still be able to, by the end of the lesson, identify and describe high and low sounds, and observe and describe patterns between the pitch of a sound and the features of the object that makes the sound. Okay, let's get started. First of all then today, think about what you already know about pitch and how it can be changed. Do you know what the word pitch means? Hopefully from your lessons with Mrs. Mason in music, you'll be able to know what pitch is. Also from some of our English lessons where we've been using the pitch of our voice. And you can have a think about where you are on the learning pit at the moment based on that knowledge. Okay, I'm going to start you off today with a what is it and what is it not. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you to pause your screens and I want you to think about what is a high sound and what a high sound is not, and then what is a low sound and what a low sound is not. If you're in school with the key workers, you can think about challenging each other. What do you think and why? And you could even agree, build on, and challenge whoever else is in school with you. If you're at home, pause it now and just have a think about that. Off you go. Okay, well done for having a go at that. It's tricky to explain, but hopefully while we go through this lesson today, we'll be able to look at some examples as well as just explain what it is and what it isn't. Okay, different sounds then. So can you make a high sound? Can I ask you all, wherever you are at home, at school, can you try and make a high sound? Do it now. Yep, I heard lots of those even through my computer screen. Can you now make a low sound with your voice? Off you go. Brilliant. Okay, so tell me more. What did you have to do to make those different sounds? What did you have to do in your voice and your throat? And then have a think about if everyone else's high and low sounds sounded the same. So was, if you're at home, is your high-pitched sound going to be the same as my high-pitched sound? Is your low going to be the same as your low? Okay, last week then we learned about amplitude, which is a measure of how loud or quiet the sound is. The pitch of a sound is different to the amplitude though. The pitch is the measure of how high or low a sound is. So high sounds can be loud or quiet, and low sounds can be loud or quiet. So the pitch is how high or how low, and the amplitude is how loud and how quiet. So we're just going to watch this video at the bottom to try and explain that a little further. Fingers crossed this works.
Sounds can be high-pitched, like the squeak of a mouse, or low-pitched, like the roar of a lion. But what is it that makes these vibrations different? This explorer is wearing special goggles. They let him see sounds in the air all around him. The sounds he sees are like waves. Some of them are tight, squiggly waves, like this. A drum with a very tight skin makes this sort of wave. It's what we call a high-pitched wave. And some of the waves are long, loose, rolling waves, like this. A drum with a loose skin makes this sort of wave. It's what we call a low-pitched wave. Excuse me, I think maybe you need to take the glasses off. You're about to walk in. Oh, too late.
Okay, so from that video there, let's just go back to the notebook. Hope you're there, I'm not quite sure. Let me just start sharing that again then. There we go. Hopefully from that little clip that you saw how some of the sound waves were shown when it comes to pitch, but we'll explore that a little bit more again. So there's a second clip I'm going to have for you, and we're going to watch this clip to see if you can hear the different, hear and identify how different musical instruments create those sounds. And while I play the second one for you, think about which high sounds and low sounds you can hear. Can you hear those different pitches? And did any of the instruments surprise you? Okay, so I'm just going to stop sharing here and make sure I have the second one loaded up and ready for you. Fingers crossed I can do this. Okay, this time I'm sharing that one. Okay, hopefully you can see that, and hopefully it won't take too long to load.
There are many different sounds, some high, some low. This is called the pitch of sound. How high or low a sound is depends on how an object vibrates.
We're trying to make little flutes out of straws. First of all, you have to pull this part out, but you have to snip to look like a bird's beak. But if you cut it more, it makes a higher pitch. And if you blow on it, it's really loud.
Just like the straws in the classroom, the air in these tubes vibrates. The length of the tubes controls the pitch of the note. The loudness of the sound produced is controlled by how hard the air is pushed through the tubes. Compared to light, sound travels slowly. All sound waves travel at the same speed, but they vibrate in different ways. Some vibrate quickly. We say they have a high frequency or pitch. Others, the ones with a low frequency, vibrate slowly.
Okay, hopefully you enjoyed that. And yes, we would have been able to do that if we were in school. I'd have got you to have little straws. If you have little straws at home and you want to have a go at that, by all means go ahead. But it shows that the sounds can be created not by a standard musical instrument, but by anything that you have at home. And you could see what happened when the boy blew on the straw and his friend used scissors and cut it. Okay. Your task today is simply going to be exploring how high and low pitched sounds are made using musical instruments. And we would normally have done this by raiding the music cupboard and getting loads of instruments. Now, most of us aren't in school, so we're going to be doing it in a slightly different way, but we're still going to be having the same outcome. Below me here, there is a table, and we're going to be looking at some instruments, and I'm going to ask you to explain how you made the high and the low sounds, and almost what you did to do them. To do this, though, we're not going to be able to use the musical instruments in school, so I'm going to be asking you to use a website. Okay, fingers crossed again. I'm just going to unshare this. And then I'm going to have to reshare this website with you. And this is the website that I have linked into your daily planner today. It's just below this YouTube link on the science part. And this is where you're going to be able to test those instruments. So I've given you this link at the top, Science Kids Changing Sounds website, and it will bring you off to a page that looks like this first of all, and it will say, try this, make a loud, high-pitched sound with a guitar. Now, if you have a guitar at home, brilliant, you can go and use the real thing, but as most of us don't, this program works just as well. So I'm going to click on OK here, and it says to make a loud, high-pitched sound with the guitar. And I've got a scrolly bar on the top, and you can see it changes where it's held on the guitar chords bit where you push down, and then you can pluck gently or pluck strongly. So it wants a loud, high-pitched sound. So loud, first of all, am I going to pluck gently or strongly? Okay, strongly, because it's going to be loud. But if it's high-pitched, well, I need short strings or long strings. Where should I hold up the neck of the guitar? So we'll have a go. And brilliant, I made a loud sound, but it was low pitched and not high pitched. So it's telling me to have another go. So it doesn't matter if I get it wrong. So instead of having it long, this time I'm going to change it to short then. So you can see here, that is where my fingers would be pressing if I had the actual guitar in my hands. So I'm going to pluck again. Here it is different. And then it comes up, perfect. You made a loud, high-pitched sound by shortening the guitar strings and plucking the string strongly. Now read the instructions at the top and you can carry on. So on here, it's telling me again, pluck it gently and strongly. What's the difference in sound? Again, you can hear that. You can again then go at the top and look through all of these instructions, or you can change the instrument at the bottom. So on here, there is a drum and I simply drag it and put it into the middle. And again, I can bang gently, bang strongly, and I can loosen or tighten the skin on the top of the drum to make different sounds. And the last one I can do is a bottle. Now this is a bottle of no water at the minute. It's empty, halfway full and almost full of water. So you can blow gently and blow strongly on those. Okay, I'm just going to stop sharing this for a moment and come back to this page, because you are then going to, in the instrument side, put those 3 instruments in if you're working from home, if you're working via the website. I have put them onto the sheet on your daily planner. So I've copied and pasted a picture of the guitar, of the drum and of the water bottle. You can draw them if you prefer, or if you're able to use different instruments, that's brilliant. But it's about how you make the sound high. So if we think back to that guitar, what did I do to make it a high sound? Did I have the neck and the chords high or low on the neck? Think about the drum, and you'll have to obviously go and play that. What happens when you tighten the skin of the drum? Emmett just thinks here, before you get started, he thinks he can make high sounds by hitting, blowing or plucking an instrument quickly, and he can make low sounds by doing it for longer. Do you agree or disagree with Emmett? Have a think about that. Hopefully from the little demonstration I did. Perhaps I should have done it after I'd asked the Emmett question, but hopefully you know that you're going to disagree with Emmett, because it's not about how quickly or how slowly you do the movement. We just have a look through here, these string instruments. So you have the guitar on there, high and low sounds. The wind instrument on that activity is just the water blowing across the top of it. It works very similarly to a wind instrument. And then the drum is the last one. I'm going to just go back to here again. This is the table you will complete today. And like I said, I have put the pictures on the side, but your task is going to be to fill in those boxes, how to make a high and low sound with those 3. Your Go Deeper activity then says, can you spot any patterns when looking at how different instruments can create different pitches? So I'm going to say that again. Can you spot any patterns when looking at the instruments and how they created pitches? Okay, I'm going to ask you to pause here and off you go. Please do come back for the end though, because I've got one more video to show you after you've had a go to explore, and I will share a few more links with you as well. Good luck. Okay, well done for having a go at those. Before I let you go today then, we are just going to watch this final clip to explain how the pitch of sound can be changed, and I'm going to be seeing if you noticed anything similar. So this is the final video I'm sharing today. Hopefully you can see it just loading up here. Did you notice anything similar to what we're about to see? Oh, fingers crossed it's going to work. Okay.
On this board is a string which is fixed at one end and attached to some weights at the other. Listen to the sound the string makes when it's plucked. We can see that the string is vibrating to produce the sound. Now listen again after an extra weight is added. The string now produces a sound with a higher pitch. The weights pull the string so it becomes tighter and so vibrates faster when it's plucked. There are other ways of affecting the sound pitch of a string. These strings all have different lengths.
The vibrating length of string is between the black strips of wood.
At the chords in the guitar.
The weight on each string is the same. The longer strings produce a lower pitch sound than the shorter strings. So the shorter length strings are vibrating faster than the longer lengths. All these strings are the same length and have the same weight attached. The difference this time is their thickness. The strings get thicker as we move across the board. The thinner strings produce a higher pitch sound than the thicker strings. This is because the thicker strings are heavier and don't vibrate as quickly as the thinner strings.
Okay, hopefully you were able to see at least some of that whilst having a go on that website. Again, it's not as good as if we were in school, but I'm sure we'll be able to get these out at some point when we return. To finish our lesson then, can you think about what working scientifically skills that you use today? Again, pause it here and have a look at those and see if you can decide which one. And I'd like to just end on where you think you are today. Were you able to make high and low pitch sounds on each instrument? Were you able to do that practically if you had instruments at home or something to make those sounds, even a piece of string, or did you just use the game? And what did you notice? The final thing before I let you go today is I have added on your daily planner a couple more activities for you to have a go at today. So what I have done, as I was explaining earlier, which I'm now going to share the screen to show you, is I have added those pictures there for you to have a go at. Now, hopefully you've seen that, and this top website here is the one to get that game where you can test the sounds. But if you scroll down slightly, you'll go deeper with to spot any patterns. And it now says that once you've tested those 3 instruments on the above website, feel free to explore these further links. Now, I actually asked Mrs. Mason for these links. She works with music and sound quite a lot, and some of these are quite funny for you to have a go at and to press the buttons on and to hear the different pitches. The first one is a xylophone, so you can play the xylophone and hear the different pitches of the different notes. The second and the third one, the boom whackers, they call them, different tubes that are hit, and the pan flute, almost like a pan instrument that you blow along the top of. It's got different sounds. The bottom one is very interesting. Mrs. Mason said it's one of her favourite links, and they are little blob characters, almost singing in an opera style using their voice in high and low pitches. So again, once you are finished, have a click on those, and I hope you enjoy them. Well done again for today. I look forward to seeing some of your work if science has been your favourite today, and I will see you next week for some more. Bye for now.